Hi, Jerome. This is Elijah Elvis Craftsman. This is me saying a big thank you for the feedback you've gave me on my episode on continuous self-improvement. Sincerely, I am really, really grateful because um, the response you gave me actually means that the content I release is worth it, and whatever it is that I do to put up this episode, uh, I should continue to do them. Sincerely, it has inspired me to not give up. It has inspired me and made me believe that I have something that the world needs to hear. I have all it takes to inspire greatness and to drive personal transformation. Thank you so much. I really appreciate, and I look forward to having a good, positive.
Introducing the Open Palm Podcast, hosted by Jerome Shaw. Available today on your favorite podcasting platforms, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor.fm, and many more. The Open Palm Podcast, where the host engages his listeners with inspirational messages, motivating themes, and thought-provoking ideas. Topics include: make more mistakes, how much is your value, don't get right, get going, learning to let go, excellence is a habit, and more. Binge listen today. Subscribe today. It's getting excellent ratings. That's the Open Palm Podcast, hosted by Jerome Shaw. You can also find it on YouTube. Make sure you share it with your social networks and connect on Twitter and Instagram at Jerome Shaw. That's the Open Palm Podcast with Jerome Shaw. Available today on your favorite podcasting platforms. Go listen, download, and subscribe now.
What a time to be alive. What a time to be alive, my friend. What a time. You know, it really is something. I don't know if you can tell, but it's kind of late tonight. And I actually just woke up from my slumber to come and give this podcast episode to you. I woke up in the middle of the night, unable to go back to sleep. This is real. This is right now. This is taking place at this moment. I wanted to go back to sleep, but I said, no, I must put this episode out now. Because somebody needs to hear this message. Have you ever had a feeling like that? That you couldn't even go back to sleep until you did something that fulfilled your purpose. Until you did something that fueled your passion. You knew that it was bigger than you. You knew it wasn't even about you. You knew that whatever it was for the betterment of humankind, was to uplift someone else. And so that's why I'm not sleeping right now, because it's not about me. It's about you. Whoever you are, you who are listening, you are supposed to hear this message. I truly believe that that's why you are listening right now. And that message is this: no matter how bad it gets, no matter how bad you think things are, no matter how awful you perceive things in your life to be, there will always, and I mean always, be someone who wishes they had your worst day. Can you imagine? Your worst day. The day in your life that you feel like things are just not up to par, or the day that you have suffered loss. There is always someone who has suffered. Not as though this is a competition, but there are those out there that still wish they had your worst day. Let me put it in perspective. I am here living in California at the moment, And if you wanted to be technical, if someone really wanted to be technical, they'd say, I'm homeless. I'm homeless. I'm living in my car. I mean, there have been days already that I've been out there. I've been out here. And I've had to sleep in my car. I've had to make ends meet. I've had to figure it out, right? I can remember sleeping on the floor just a month ago, not even, in between pews inside of a church, inside of a temple, in between the pews, just sleeping on the floor, right? I can remember I can remember so many things. But there would be someone out there that wishes they had my worst day. As I am here in the place that I am now, I have seen things that I have never seen before in my life. And I may sound like a wimp for saying this, but I've been seeing many giant rats here. I'm talking fat rats, like rich rats that look like, oh, they're eating good. Y'all eating good in here. I don't know where y'all getting this from. And rats that seemingly have no bones, because how are you able to fit underneath this small little crevice in the door and be that big? I'm saying, like, I've seen rats that I've chased rats, and you who have seen rats in the flesh, I'm talking big ones with long tails, even small ones, which is a telltale sign that somebody's making babies out there, right? You know what I'm talking about. I've chased rats around this place that I'm currently living in, seen them turn tail, turn around, and like, I've chased rats and they've gone back underneath the door. I've seen rats turn tricks. I'm talking like bust a right and just go straight underneath the door, like do some Looney Tunes stuff. I've seen rats do like running like that. I've seen those types. And still, there is someone out there that wishes they had my worst day. Let me tell you about a day in my life that was one of the worst days of my life. I'm just going to be very transparent and forthcoming right now and let you know that there was a time in my life where I wanted to do so much good. I mean, I've done good and I've done bad, but there is one day in particular that I really messed up. And all I wanted to do was inspire. Even as I think about this day, I get those feelings rushing back. I bought over $100 worth of fireworks. Like, I'm talking big fireworks. I bought some real ones. And I bought them from this fireworks shop. And I took them to a 4th of July get-together with my family. And all I wanted to do was inspire the kids. All I wanted to do was just, make a big show and just have them see something that perhaps they had never seen before, the young ones. And long story short, they saw a show all right. And the fire trucks had to come in, the cops had to come in, and when it was all, going up in flames, I didn't listen. And it cost me more than just a reputation. It was, somebody could have gotten hurt. Now, thankfully, no one got hurt. But to just let you know, I popped fireworks in an area that I wasn't supposed to. And it was just huge catastrophe. I remember hiding in the bushes that night as I watched fire trucks roll by. Going to put out these flames that were just steadily combing their way through the neighborhood. But nobody got hurt. No property was damaged. They managed to extinguish the fire in time. But this was one of the worst days in my life. And I sat there cross-legged, and I just prayed over and over, please let the fire go out. Please let the fire go out. Please let the fire go out. And I was so afraid, and I was so ashamed. And still, there is someone who wishes they had my worst day. There is someone out there, I know it, who, in all my shame and all my anguish and all my mental breakdown, there is someone out there who wishes they had my worst day. Can you think of a scenario, an instance in your life where you really messed up? Or can you think of a scenario, a circumstance in your life where you just had it tough, you just had it bad, and you didn't know how you would make it out? You didn't know what was going to become of you. You did not know where your life would go from here. My friend, there is still someone that wishes they had your worst day. So the other day I do a live video and I get a message from someone in my DMs, and hopefully I'm not dating this this episode by saying DMs, but DM stands for direct messages. Somebody sent me a direct message saying that my message, just me talking and sharing my truth, stopped them from killing themselves, from committing suicide. They were going to take their life, and they listened to me just share what I was going through, and they decided that tonight was not the night. My friend, there's always someone who wishes they had your worst day. You may never know what message you have for a person. Just by living your truth and just by sharing your truth, putting it out there for the world to see, someone who relates to you will understand that they are not alone. But know for yourself that it is not about you. That no matter how bad it gets, no matter how bad you think things are, this too shall pass. It won't be like that forever. Nothing is permanent. There will always be ups and downs in life, times when you don't think there is a light at the end of the tunnel, times where you don't see any way out. But there will always be someone who wishes they had your worst day. Be thankful, be grateful, and be kind. Because at the end of the day, it's not about you. Thank you for listening. This has been Jerome Shaw on TOP, that is the Open Palm Podcast. Here in Lake Elsinore, California, the open palm means harmony with the world, understanding our place in the world, using our skills accordingly, greeting the world with an open palm instead of a closed fist. My friend, I do pray that you received a special message, an encouraging message from this episode today or tonight, wherever you are, and that you would pass this on, pay it forward to somebody who is like-minded, who is learning and growing and becoming their greatest version. Encourage someone today. I don't think many people realize or hear these types of messages enough. But to let them know and uplift them that it's going to be all right. You can make it. No matter what your situation is, be strong. You can do it. It is within you. Many have asked how they can help and support the podcast. And you can definitely support the podcast by becoming a supporter, opening your browser to anchor.fm/jshaw. That would be one of the best ways to support the podcast, and it is much appreciated. And you can also become a patron by going to patreon.com/Jerome Shaw. My friend, be blessed and take care.